Uh, Super excited about the topic today. It's going to be a very interesting one, and we will use the chat a lot. So, for everybody who is joining now, hey Nicole, thanks for joining. We will be today is like a more of a working session, less theory, more like hands-on stuff, and we will be going over the measurement systems. We will be going over the ways to track your brand and AI answers, the toolkit, everything like what to track, how to track it, how to measure, how to report on it. And while we are like, hey, Kelly, thanks for joining. While we are waiting for more people to join, and I see a lot of us are coming up here, I do have a question for the group, and it's good time to find the chat window here in Google Meet. It sits at the bottom of the screen. So I do have a question, like where you guys are dialing from, so that I can have a better sense of where you are. Where you're based. And if you're looking for a chat window, it's going to be at the very bottom of your screen, one of those little buttons. Can be hidden for some of you. Here we go. Oh, having trouble? Hopefully by the next time, for the next session, you'll find it. So let's get started. Luckily, we have now more humans than the note takers joining us, which I'm excited about. And we will be talking about a very exciting topic today. It's all about the measurement. On my end, and this is what I'm seeing a lot, and give me an answer in the chat if like that's it. It's the icon is in the top, like bottom right corner of your window. So was AI visibility anywhere on your H1 report or your last QBR? Apart from traffic, leads, pipeline, was it in the deck? Did you track it? Did you see it coming from anywhere? Was it ever available in the most recent business report that you read or prepared? Any number, anything. Visibility score, competition, citations. Yes or no? For me, it was a yes. For me, it was a yes, by the way. So, but let's see what you guys have in mind. And for those who are just joining, we'll be talking about AI measurement today. And one of the questions that I have for you, and feel free to use the chat. We will use the chat a lot here. I want to keep this as interactive as possible. H1 is almost over. Like H1 is over. Q2 it's over. We are now like way over the half a year business deadlines. And for QBRs, for any of the reports, for anything that you guys read, was AI visibility anywhere on your radar? A lot of my clients, yes, good. Thanks, Nina. Thanks for your answer. And it's good to know that, because this is the question where we have like we have like it over and over. And for those of you who see me for the first time, my name is Luidmilla. I'm CEO at Rampiq agency. We help B2B tech brands to get better pipeline through better visibility on AI and through the paid ads program that we also run. I've been in this industry for more than 17 years in the digital marketing, and for the AI answers and for all the AI-related AI search and AI visibility, it has become my passion slightly less than 2 years ago when Google first released AI overviews. Since then, I have built Perplexity, that's the tool for LLM visibility tracking. I have joined Amador AI, the platform that we will take a sneak peek on today, as a marketing advisor to help the market get better traction of how AI sees and perceives the brand. And we are constantly working with B2B technical brands through the our AI visibility program that we have designed. So I have been around the block for some time, and I am super excited to share what we know about AI visibility traction and how to track and how to measure it today. And I welcome all your questions. Feel free to use the chat anytime you have it. And if you have a question through the course of this meeting, go ahead, type it in. I'll make sure that we'll have enough time for Q&A to address it. Let's dive in. The buyer journey has moved. And now when whatever research you read or whichever AI you ask, you'll see that the B2B buyers are now starting the research inside AI tools, and what it means for us, people who are responsible for marketing, revenue, pipeline, close deals, ROI of the business. It means that if we are not in the answer, if our brand is skipped, the biggest concern that we have, that it will never show up in your current dashboards. It will never show up in the traditional tools that track sessions, conversions, even leads. So you'll never know if AI answers recommend someone else unless you have that layer of insight, unless you have that layer of visibility baked in your business data. So type yes in the chat if your dashboards have 0 AI metrics today. And that's okay. We are all friends here. No judgment. That's why we are here for. Because the purpose of this session is to actually give you the exact measurement framework and the toolkit so that you can walk away and change that. So the biggest concern and the biggest difference between the traditional search and AI is those are 2 different worlds. AI doesn't really rank, it reasons. And no keywords, no backlinks, domain ranking authority, DA, everything that Ahrefs, SEMrush, and other tools have been teaching us for years, for decades even, and now it doesn't really apply to AI search. And the metrics that we need to start measuring are very different. We need to start measuring the entities, visibility, the citations and the frequency, and of course dimensions. Why? Because all of the 3 things now are the most important signals that influence your brand being recommended. And when we look at the AI search as the whole concept, this is where things are becoming super interesting. AI search has 2 environments where we have the native AI search. This is where you interact with ChatGPT, Perplexity, AI assistants, and you have an answer in the conversation on the platform. And more of a traditional search that has got affected by AI overviews, those AI-generated answers that sit on top of Google results and Bing results right now. The interesting fact about the industry now is that those 2 worlds are now overlapping. So the AI discovery through citations and recommendations can now happen anywhere. Literally anywhere where we have the AI-enabled assistant or a search. And even Google itself, while being a little bit late in the race of winning the AI market share, even Google itself 2 months ago claimed that Google is now AI search through and through. Meaning that if we are not optimizing for LLMs, we are typically not optimizing for the extra layer of not just business insight, but the pipeline generation, discovery, MOFL, BOFL, or even TOEFL, wherever the marketing stage of your prospect you're thinking of, everything is now affected by AI. And this is where we need to change the paradigm. We need to change the way we think about the measurement because things are evolving. And now we need to take care of 3 very different scoreboards. So first of all, it's still it's a known fact that around 60% of the searchers on ChatGPT do not actually provoke the web function. Think about it, 60% of conversations do not even tell the model, do not even make the model go out there in the real world in search for the most recent information. Meaning that that memory snapshot that currently sits in the model is your like baseline. That's the representation of your brand. And model memory, when live search is not enabled, defines how your brand is categorized and where to show it and where to recommend it. That's one thing. The next thing is the live AI answers. And this is what model finds when it searches the web. A little bit more transparent, more controllable, but still all those AI answers, all of the citations or all the sources that the model surfaces, it is still being, like they're all still being processed through the model's perception of your brand. They will be compared to the memory information. In the AI overviews, the answers that are sitting about the top 1 rankings now have a very different index. So in the traditional SEO world, we kind of knew that Google goes out there, scans the websites, brings the information to the backend, stores it in the search index, and whenever we are searching, it will kind of like go to that huge database and pull out the answer. Now it's not the case. In the most recent study of Ahrefs, over 30% of the results that appear in AI overviews, that's very important, do not rank in top 100 organically. Meaning that now AI overviews in the AI mode are using the model memory, the model index, which is completely different from the search index. So if you're still thinking keywords, you are measuring Google. If you want to think AI visibility, you need to start measuring prompts and intents. I'm not saying that you need to abandon Google, still huge market share, a lot of traffic there. But today we are focusing on this new channel, which is completely different from the traditional search as we know. Now, how do we go about tracking? How do we go about setting up the measurement routine, the measurement system in our businesses? We have 4 layers, and we need to answer 4 questions. When it comes to AI search visibility, that's the framework that we apply for over 50 B2B tech brands that we have typically worked through the year at Rampiq. And everything that I'm saying right now, it's been tested, it's been proven, it's been applied, it has the real world traction. So if you have any questions, please think about them, post them in the chat as we speak, because this is more of a practitioner view, POV, that you'll see here, tested and battle-proofed. So first, how does AI describe it? What does it know from the memory? What does it know from the get-go? What is your category? How do you look like? This is very important for brands that have mergers and acquisitions, that have pivoted recently, or have changed the positioning, or have launched the new thing. You need to know if AI knows about it from the get-go, from the memory perspective. Next, your authority. How often are you in the answers? And for the search, if we're talking about Google environment or AI overviews, how often are you on those AI-generated answers or in Google's AI mode? And to the bottom of your funnel, what does it do to your revenue? How does it affect your pipeline? So for the 4 layers and the 4 questions, we will untangle them one by one, but I want to highlight that this is the new way to think about your measurement. The older dashboards, yes, they still have the right to live, they exist, we still look at them, but this extra layer of intelligence is absolutely necessary for any B2B brand right now. So, does AI know who you are without searching? So, memory versus live thing is an eye-opening experience for so many brands, because especially with we have 2 polar use cases typically. For the brands with history, for the brands with a large digital footprint, sometimes AI just carries the old positioning. And there are sources which AI services or AI creators, LLM, large language models creators, use to update the models, use to upgrade the model's memory. They're highly visible on the web. And if your brand is miscategorized, it's worth looking at why this is happening. And let me give you a very practical example. It literally happened, it literally popped up in our conversation. It was one of the clients 2 weeks ago. We were looking at the AI answers together, and they spotted like a large inconsistency between how AI treated them in the use case answers, so what they do as a firm, and the actual positioning that they have changed a year ago. Guess what? The Wikipedia still had them with the old positioning. And all the, even like the newer models, and we checked a few together, even the newer models were skewing their positioning towards the old thing. Why? Because still on the web, there is a large digital trace that affects how the model memory is shaped. So the practical takeaway from today is to go and check the top 10 entities or top 10 sources that will affect your entity consistency. You can do it through a simple chat. You can use the tools that we will discover later today. But the biggest takeaway from this first layer of AI perception is to keep tracking how models perceive your brand and which category you belong to. Cut off the noise, cut off the search, go and ask about your memory, use one of the tools. But from the business perspective, from the positioning perspective, you need to know where you stand. And this is the first check that we do when we onboard our clients to our AI search visibility program, because we want to understand the baseline. And if AI is miscategorizing you from the get-go, chances are that in 60% of conversations, you will be miscategorized. You need to know where you stand. Track answers. Those are the metrics which are relatively new to the community and to the industry, but those four are the ones that we highly recommend, and we track them on the weekly basis. Those metrics are related to the native search, so the search that happens within Perplexity, within ChatGPT, the visibility score. How often compared to your competitors, you mentioned, share of voice, how big is your presence, your average position, who is listed first in the answers, who is the top recommendation, you or somebody else, and the citations frequency, so how often your brands is showing up. I'll show you how to measure it when we get to the practical part, and it's going to be like a super hands-on example. But for now, AI gives a lot of bias when you mention your name in the prompt. So be prepared that for your branded prompts, mentioning your brand in any context, whether it's going to be an exploratory thing or it's going to be the comparison prompts, AI will be super flattering you if you mention your brand. So here we need to have a split between the categories that we are tracking. And the way we look at it through the, in our framework, we do it through the branded and non-branded prompts. Very particular, very specific split, because this is where we have the definite answer about the branded versus non-branded, similar probably to the keywords, how we look at them, but also the second split that needs to happen. Those are the split by prompt category. So one of the clients that we have, they look great on the generic prompts, high ranking, share of voice is awesome. But when we looked at the newer product visibility that they launched, the evidence wasn't there. The evidence wasn't enough to get them recommended with the same frequency, with the same visibility as other more generic use cases. So this is one of the interesting parts where we need to understand what to track. And in this case, I wanted to show you a practical example of how you can categorize your prompts and topics, and what to do about the gaps that you discover. Let me show you a sneak peek into how we look at the brands that we work with, and how we advise on the course of action that we need to take. What you're looking at is the prompts and topics for one of the brands that we work with. And this is how the things become very real. If you see that for the category discovery, the use case discovery, the comparisons and vendor evaluation, this is exactly the evidence where we have the comparisons, because we have the brand mentioned in those, obviously. The comparisons visibility score will be 100% because we have mentioned the brand ourselves, it's unconflicted. However, when we see that the average position is fluctuating, even for our own brand, somebody is recommending, like AI is recommending somebody else, a very good signal to follow. And if we look at the vendor evaluation and also the use case discovery, you will see, and that's very obvious, that we have a gap here where for the use cases and what's more important for the vendor evaluation, the visibility score, the average positions and the metrics across all of the prompts that we are tracking, they are lower. This is how you read the signals that AI sends you. And this is how you go there and start looking at your AI visibility in a very straightforward and structured way. Not just like, hey, who is like how we are positioned, who is talking about us, but rather through the lens of categories, use cases, branded, non-branded, owned, and non-owned citations. Let me pause here for a second, and let me quickly check the chat. Any questions that you have, feel free to use the chat window to type them in. We will have an extended Q&A session closer to the end of like this, the first part. But anything you want to ask, feel free to type it. And when we talk about the native AI visibility, those are the metrics that we keep tracking. But let's take a look at the AI overviews. This is a very interesting evolution that Google has taken over time. And as I mentioned earlier, in my professional opinion, they're so late in the game, so late. But they're still trying to win that market share of AI answers and become an answer engine rather than the search engine. And one of the remedies that they are applying right now is showing AI overviews, those AI-generated answers, on top of close to 80 to 85% of searches that they currently serve. What it means to us as marketers, as business owners, as revenue, as CRO roles, and what does it mean to our pipeline? Now, being visible in AI overviews means awareness, not traffic. Being a part of the answer of AI overviews is now as important as being a part of the answer in native AI search. And luckily for AI overviews, the measurement is a little bit more straightforward. You can still measure the keywords, and you can still apply a more or less old school tactics of collecting the keywords that you would like to track, looking at where you are at the AI overviews, where your competitors are there, and start bridging the gap. The key is, though, is to think about it in the right way. It's not about where you rank currently. It's where you don't rank. It's where other competitors are outranking you. And let me give you a real-world example here. Recently, we audited a project where it's an older website, again, with their like large digital footprint, and they were winning. They were crashing around 900 AI overviews, which is everybody was happy about. But a deeper dive discovered that the keywords they are ranking for have more. They have 1,200 wins sitting in a plain sight. If you look closer where your competitors rank and where you could be ranking for the keywords that currently have AI overviews in your niche. So the way to think about it is to identify the fastest and the most measurable wins. Go to any tool of your choice. We will talk about toolkit a little bit later. Identify the target market. And the way I personally like to think about it is like a very startup-like way, where you have the target market, like the total addressable market. Those are all the keywords that you rank for, and within it you'll have the groups where you can get the quick wins. If you narrow it down, you'll have the bullseye to hit, and that's going to be the AI overviews sitting in your plain sight that you need to be aware of and build towards it. So for the AI overviews, this is also like the development that I have talked a little bit about, is that now AI overviews are also shaped by Gemini, not the Google index itself. So it's worth checking which content is being ranked constantly in AI overviews. And when you start doing that, and when you accumulate that information over time, it will be very interesting to see for your brand that this is exactly what we do as a part of our intelligence layer that we bring to our clients at Rampiq, is we elicit those insights, and we know exactly which content ranks. And when you do that, it's like this little bit of reverse engineering. You can definitely win more AI overviews. Highly measurable thing, not easy, but very straightforward wins if you know how to do it. The best part of the measurement framework is the pipeline, layer 4. This is where things are becoming shady for many businesses. Why? AI overviews are often zero-click. Native AI searches and the answers in the prompt are also often zero-click. So a few things how you can measure it, and this is an interesting way. It's actually a little bit of an old school technique, but we incorporated, and we encourage all of our clients to do so, and I encourage you to do so. We incorporated the self-attribution question to every sales call script, to every single form on the website. How did you hear about us? What is like? How did you hear about us? What is bringing you to our conversation? And oftentimes, the answers are actually very interesting. The example that you see on the screen is our clients. They are the clean tech PR firm, and we have been working with them for more than 6 years now. And we immediately switched them to AI visibility program because they were like a perfect candidate for it, and they were interested in getting the AI visibility sorted out for themselves. And this is the email that I got from their CEO. He got a client and he asked like, hey, how did you find us? And the new employee that the client hired was actually looking on ChatGPT for the best tech PR firms. And this is kind of like straight to the sales conversation. I know that they have converted. So if you're using HubSpot, you will see the traces of the data in the CRM, and the HubSpot now has AI assistant attribution by the default. If you're using Google Analytics, you will also see AI assistant as the new channel group. It's relatively new, but if you are still using Google Analytics, you will see that it's currently grouping traffic from AI tools and AI platforms under one single channel, so it's also done and sorted. But I encourage you to do one thing after today's session. Look at your intake forms, look at your sales call scripts, look at your all the interactions that you will have with your prospects, and make sure that it has the self-attribution question. This is currently the best way to start discovering the signal that directly affects your pipeline and deals within it. Last but not least, the competition. This is what surprises almost every client in the first months of measurement. The brands that you find in the market, they're not necessarily the ones who take your spot in AI answers. This is where the regular implementation of all of the 4 layers that we have just talked to becomes your necessity, your necessary routine, the necessary part of the data framework that you have in your business. Why? Because AI competitors are not who you think. Over and over, with the right prompting and with the right measurement tool in place, you will see not your business competitors winning the answers, but something else. Let me give you a practical example. We talked to a legal data company recently, and they are also like a well-established brand. They're known in the market, and they have the same 5 rivals for years. But they are based in the UK, and now they're thinking about entering the US market. In the US market, the actual legal firms, not the legal data companies or insights companies or intelligent partners, but the legal firms themselves were outranking them in the same answers over and over, very clear pattern on every platform. So when you're looking at your visibility and when you're looking at your competition, be aware that your non-branded prompts is exactly the spot to find out who is actually outranking you for the use case and the category-based prompts. Very specific thing to monitor and very specific thing to track on the weekly basis as well. So your own content, if you publish more content, is unlikely to get you cited. A pattern that we see a lot is like we're publishing 2 posts per week. Very good pace, by the way. Not too many brands can afford it. However, we are still not traced in the AI answers. Or one of the problems that we are solving right now for one of the clients, they have over 50 case studies. It's also a very good library, but currently those case studies, they're not being picked up by AI answers. We started applying the AI visibility programs with them, and now we have the clear track record that those case studies are picking up. However, when you look at your own citations, be aware who is being cited where you are not. And this is where the external citations come into play. And if we pick a single prompt, it will be a good exercise to see where you're losing the place in your AI answers and to whom. Let me take you to one of the prompts from the previous example that we saw. And you can see, here is the prompt, right? We currently have the ranking number 3, the visibility score, somebody is outranking us. And now across the board, you will be able to see where you're losing dimensions. For example, the Perplexity is not picking up our brand. And here you'll see the citation number 4, we are ranked number 4 in ChatGPT. And this is the level of insight that you can now drill down to, and you'll be able to see who is sitting on top of your results. But what's more important, you will be able to see why this is happening. This is an eye-opening experience that I encourage you to have as early as you can for your brand's measurement, because this is where you can see which particular citations, which particular answers have influenced, which particular content has influenced the answer that you see on the screen. And that level of detail is very practical. It is very super hands-on, because when you look at the pages types, when you look at dimensions, when you look at everything, now you are in the know what content types, which domains, which competitors are affecting the answers where your brand is underperforming. And surprisingly or not, that there will be a lot of patterns that you will discover depending on your use case and depending on the on what you're looking for and with whom you are competing. Listicles, reviews, press releases, third-party blogs, and only then your own pages. Getting back to the topic that we had discussed earlier is it's very important to split between your branded and non-branded citations. It's also very mentions, and it's only very prompts. It's also very important to split between the owned citations, my own content, and third party, and see what kind of share each type takes in the citations for the prompts of your choice. Now, let me bring this all together. The 4 layers, the tools that can cover you. The perception, many tools out there. Let me recommend mine. Cartology AI is the tool where you can get the memory versus life measurement. Amadora AI, the platform that we used for the demo, is a good tool for prompt and share of voice and citations tracking. For search, Amadora has AI overviews functionality. Many of our customers still use Ahrefs and SEMrush. For our clients at Rampiq, as a part of the AI visibility program, we give access to our own tool. We had to develop our own tool for the AI visibility tracking in AI overviews. And for the pipeline, GA4, HubSpot, Salesforce, any CRM that you're using, plus the more traditional web analytics system will do that. Now to the bottom of it. How do we report? How do we make sure that our stakeholders, our board, or like if you're the business owner, like how do you know that we are moving in the right direction? 5 numbers that we measure consistently. Where we are versus our competition. Average position by prompt category, exactly as we looked at. Citation frequency. How is our own citations are doing? Are we earning more of our own content visibility, or are we outnumbered by the third party? AI overviews win rate. Out of all the AI overviews available to us, how many do we have now and over time? And the pipeline. How many deals in our pipeline were touched by self-attributed or web analytics recorded AI trace? The most important things. It needs to be done weekly, not quarterly. Why? Because the models now move very fast. The volatility of the model's answers is also a very interesting trend. And when we look at those numbers, we need to make sure that we look at them dynamically. Meaning that now you need to have a pulse of those AI answers, that visibility, those scores, those metrics, readily available on your fingertips. Why? Because this channel is super dynamic, and the traffic from there, the leads from there, the value of the pipeline is tremendously high. So now, let's recap. And if you learned something new today, give me a thumbs up, a little bit of thumbs up, or put yes in the chat. And the main thing that we covered for now is that AI visibility has stopped being a black box. That was my mission, to walk you through how exactly you can now think about your brand's AI visibility measurement in a frameworks based approach. So let's recap. Perception. What does AI know about us? Authority. How do we compete? How do we compare with our niche, within our niche, with our market, with our rivals in native AI search? Then more traditional search, which is more becoming AI search, AI overviews. How do we go about winning the market share of those AI-generated answers? How many are there available for us? How many do we own now? What's the gap? How do we cover it? And the pipeline, self-attribution, and any signals that you can capture from your current measurement tools. When you bring this all together, that's the framework that will give you more transparency and a better vision of what to do with all the GTM and other channels that you're managing, but you need to have it in place. And again, if you've learned something new, feel free to put a yes in the chat or give me the thumbs ups. Would be great to get some feedback here. All right, thanks, Tracy. Good to hear that. Appreciate it. Thanks, Justin. Good. Thanks, Nina. Appreciate it. Thank you. Kelly, thank you. Thank you. Gabriela, thanks. So when we think about the impact, the business impact, and like, does it work? How do we apply it? I wanted to give you another very practical example of how the AI overviews game has changed the the go-to-market for the content marketing strategy for one of our clients. Client's name is CaseIQ. They are in the compliance space and software as a service, platform as a service kind of business. They saw the opportunity quite early, and within weeks rather than months, we helped CaseIQ to win AI overviews, and we are in a very good. We have a very good relationship with them, and when we talked to Chris, the VP of marketing, over time, that was one of the key visibility drivers and growth drivers. They have a very good attribution system. They can attribute it to their pipeline. So what we do need, we need the clear measurement framework, but we also need to close that loop with the business feedback. So what I encourage you to do today, all the practical examples that we have covered, go look at how you measure it now. We will share the recording, we will share everything that we have covered so far, and start taking practical steps. Start taking practical steps within your own current measurement system that will bring you closer to the level of visibility that your business needs. And if you would like my exact measurement system working on your brand, drop +1 in the chat, and I'll share the details how you can get it. Because I would love to show you where you stand. I would like to help you find the gaps, and I would like, thanks, Kelly, awesome. I'll definitely get back to you on that. And I would like you to leave with the very specific plan, prioritized, applicable to you specifically for your next steps. I'd love everyone on this call to have that system working. So if you want to see it in action for your brand, everything that we have covered so far, drop me a +1, give me a reaction, and thank you. And I'll reach out to you with details on how we can make it work for you. And thank you. Thank you, Zach. I see that. Thanks. Appreciate it. I would love to hear your questions. So if you have any, feel free to unmute yourself. Feel free to give me, feel free to type anything, any questions that you have in the chat. I don't have a hard stop, so whatever you want to ask, whatever you want to pick my brain on, based on what we have covered so far, please feel free to do so. And probably next time I'll need to wear my biggest fun shirt, like ask me anything about the AI. I have it from one of the conferences. Yes, Kelly, go ahead. And I see your raised hand, so feel free to unmute yourself if you can. If not, just type in the chat, whatever is comfortable for you. And one of the most popular questions while you guys are thinking, and Kelly, I hope you'll sort out your your audio situation. One of the most popular questions that we have is is crawl data enough? A lot of brands now have an opportunity to actually track the AI bots hits on the website, and this is a very good intelligence layer that will tell you which pages of your website are being visited by AI bots more often. However, my take on this is no. Crawlers data alone is not enough for you because it doesn't give you the visibility into your competition. It's great for tracing your own content, and also as we now know that every AI platform has different types of bots, it's a good signal to see which one hits which areas of your website. Some of the bots are the ones that collect information for the model's education, meaning that they will bring this information to the memory part of the model eventually. Some bots are the ones that participate in the live AI answers, meaning that if certain content gets being hit by certain bot crawlers, and they're quite easily identifiable right now, you'll know that certain part of your content is participating in live conversations and being cited in the AI answers. And knowing who is like which AI agent is looking at your AI bot is looking at which part of your website, can give you a very strong signal how your own citations currently perform. But in terms of the competition analysis, in terms of the AI perception of the brand related to your category or use case, the bots enough will not be the bots alone will not be enough. Not really that's the you will need to you will need to augment them with something else. The tools that we have covered today: citation tracking, share of voice, and the competition landscape. Any questions, guys? And by the way, if you're still deciding whether you need that measurement system or not, we still have time. Like give me an emoji, give me a +1 in the chat. And if you'd like to see everything that we have covered today in action for your brand, I'd love to do that for you. And another thing that I'm being asked for often is that we the repositionings, pivots, and M&As. How do we handle that? How do we go about it? This is something where the analysis of the owned and non-owned citations will help you understand where you stand right now. And the non-owned citations is the place to look at. Because if you look at like the specific URLs or specific citations, specific places where AI is picking information for the live answers, that would be your signal to understand where the models are learning from right now. And even if you're not mentioned in a particular answer or your ranking is quite low, this is for your new positioning or for your for your new product. It's also a good way to see who is actually mentioned, what type of content, or what type of what type of domains, or what type of specific articles or listicles or guides, who is there already, who is shaping the answer. And now you will have a very practical, very hands-on way to get the list of domains, competition, third-party websites that are now affecting the answer, and now you have your battle cards to start moving into that answers and start being mentioned. So non-owned citation analysis will be the first place to look at. And let's see if we have any questions. No, not yet. So with that, if you guys have no questions for me right now, I encourage you to reach out to me at any time. We will send the recording shortly, so you'll have an opportunity to interact with me at any point of time. Thank you, Nina, for co-hosting today, and I would love to see everything that we have covered in action for your brand. So don't hesitate to reach out. We are here for you. And thank you guys for your time. Thank you for being here with me. And I am inspired. I'm pumped with an opportunity to share how we look at the AI visibility. And I'd love to have it work for you as well. So thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.